All right, here. Today I am going to give y'all my way too early predictions for the 2021-2022 NFL season. I'm going to start off with the AFC, and then I'm going to work my way up to the NFC. This is going to be a little long, so kick back and relax and enjoy, but let's get started.
Ryan Priest, and you're watching William Blackwell on YouTube.
I am going to start off with the AFC. But winning the AFC Championship for the 2021-2022 regular season, yes, I'm saying that regular season, this will set up for the playoffs, will be the Kansas City Chiefs representing the AFC West. In years past, Kansas City has had a cakewalk to the playoffs, but this year, they're going to have it a little harder. Because one, the Las Vegas Raiders got better throughout the offseason, and the Broncos did too, but the Chargers came on strong at the end of the 2020 season, and it was just crazy how strong they came on. So the Chargers are going to be really good, and they will give Kansas City a run for their money. But when it's all said and done, Kansas City wins that conference and gets the number one seed. But finishing second in the AFC will be the East champs, and that would be the Buffalo Bills. And for Buffalo, I think their star quarterback, Josh Allen, will have a breakout season and be a contender for MVP. Finishing third in the AFC will be the Tennessee Titans representing the South. In years past, Tennessee has had it tough with Houston, and then you had Indianapolis and Jacksonville is always irrelevant. But this past offseason, things fell apart in Houston, and they're no longer in the picture, I guess you can say. But Indianapolis, Phillip Rivers, their quarterback last year, decided to retire, and they were left in a hole, but they picked up Carson Wentz. So it's going to be interesting to see how things go out there. But I do think they go really well. But yes, the Titans win the South. A little harder though, and they also might pick up a star wide receiver named Julio Jones, and that more to come out in the near future, I guess you can say. But finishing fourth in the AFC out of your division winners will be the Cleveland Browns representing the North. Cleveland is going to have a tight battle here with Pittsburgh and Baltimore and Cincinnati if they can stay healthy. And yes, Cleveland wins the North. But in the first wild card spot, or number 5, if you will be the Los Angeles Chargers. Like I said just a couple moments ago, they came on strong at the end of the 2020-2021 season. And Justin Herbert, he is someone to keep your eye on for MVP. Finishing 6th, and the second wild card will be the Baltimore Ravens from the AFC North. Like I said, they're going to give Cleveland a run for their money, but they will fall short of winning that division, but they will still get a playoff spot. But finishing 7th and rounding out your last wild card spot will be the Indianapolis Colts, led by Carson Wentz, a new quarterback for that franchise. Carson Wentz in years past has played for the Philadelphia Eagles, and it was bad blood this past year between the organization and Carson Wentz. So they ultimately decided to part ways, and it might have been the best for both parties. And I think he does well with the Colts his first year and leads them to the playoffs. But if you put that all in the playoff format, and it's interesting here, the Kansas City Chiefs will get a first-round bye. So that means you got the Buffalo Bills playing the Indianapolis Colts for the second year in a row and wild card weekend. And it's easy here. I think the Bills will win. Next game, you got the Tennessee Titans and the Baltimore Ravens for the second year in a row. I find this really crazy here. But this time around, Tennessee wins. But the last game rounding out wild card weekend for the AFC had the Cleveland Browns and the Los Angeles Chargers. I think Justin Herbert and the Chargers fall short to Baker Mayfield and the Browns. So now you get to the divisional round. The Kansas City Chiefs play the lowest seed remaining, or the highest seed remaining, I guess you could say. And it will play the number 4 seed, Cleveland Browns. Baker Mayfield going to Arrowhead Stadium. Again, in the playoffs last year, it did not go his way, but you know what? I think it's going to happen. Baker Mayfield goes to Arrowhead Stadium and defeats Patrick Mahomes in a divisional round in the 2021-2022 playoffs. So, mark my words. So, Cleveland advances to the AFC Championship game, but who will they play? You got the Buffalo Bills, the number 2 seed, playing the number 3 seed Tennessee Titans, and Titans, they will choke and they will lose this game to the Bills. So the AFC Championship game is now set with the Buffalo Bills hosting the Cleveland Browns. But the winner of this game will be the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen, like I said earlier, he's going to have a breakout season and will win MVP. So, yes, Josh Allen goes to the Super Bowl, but who will he play? Now I am going to talk about the NFC. And winning the NFC regular season championship for the 2021-2022 season will be no other than your defending Super Bowl champs, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers from the NFC South. I think they're going to have a great season. And if they play like they did at the end of last year, they can easily win 14 games in the regular season. Because you got to remember, I think there's 17 of them this year. So 14-3, there you go. But finishing second in the NFC will be the Los Angeles Rams. Los Angeles, this past all season, got something they really needed, and that was a quarterback with experience. Jared Goff was a really good quarterback, but he wasn't meant to be with the Rams. Now he's with Detroit, and he will do good things, but it will take time. But now they got Matthew Stafford leading that offense. I just don't see any stopping them. They're going to be really good, high-powered both sides of the ball, and special team is going up. I guess you can say last year they kind of struggled. But yes, the Rams will finish second and win the West. But finishing third will be the Dallas Cowboys. And a lot of people here will disagree with me here. But hear me out. This past year, the Cowboys lost their star quarterback, Dak Prescott, due to an injury. And then to play the remainder of the season with a bunch of different quarterbacks. And Andy Dalton was one of them. And he nearly led that team to the playoffs. So imagine if they had Dak back there. They would have made the playoffs really easily. But this year they get Prescott back. And they also had a good draft. And they picked up Micah Parsons. And he replaced Sean Lee, who retired. I think that's a great pickup, and that defense is going to be right back at it in 2021. So Dallas wins the East and finishes third. But finishing fourth out of your division winners will be the Minnesota Vikings. The North this year is going to be sketchy because right now we don't know who's going to be the starting quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. I'm assuming that Aaron Rodgers will not be there at the start of the season. He will be somewhere elsewhere. And if that's the case, Minnesota will win the North. But finishing fifth in the playoffs or the first wildcard spot for the NFC will be the Washington football team led by Ron Rivera and company. And I think they will have a great season. That defense is strong, so keep an eye on them. But yes, the Washington football team finishes fifth. Finishing sixth will be the Seattle Seahawks. And it would not surprise me one bit to see the Seahawks miss the playoffs because this could very well be the last year Russell Wilson puts on Seahawks uniform. And it can very well be the end for him and Seattle. But finishing seventh will be the Carolina Panthers. This right here might catch a lot of people off guard. A lot of people might say, where are the Arizona Cardinals at? You know what? Arizona's a great team. They got DeAndre Hopkins, they got J.J. Watt, but I don't think Kyler Murray is good enough to lead them to the playoffs. He hasn't proved anything in the past. But the Panthers, though, last year, they were consistent at the end of the season, but early on they struggled. And they really needed a quarterback. And this past year they got rid of Teddy Bridgewater and they brought in Sam Darnold. And Sam Darnold in the years past has played for the Jets, and it was bad blood this last year. And they moved on from him, and Sam Darnold is now leading the Panthers. You best believe they're going to do really good and make the playoffs. So there you go. Putting all that into playoff format, you got the Rams and the Panthers in round one. The Panthers will beat them. The 7 seed beats the 2 seed. There you go. The number 3 seed Cowboys will play the number 6 seed Seahawks. And like I said, Russell Wilson, his time in Seattle will be over with when they lose to Dallas in the wild card round because the Cowboys will go on to the next round, the divisional round, if you will. And now you get the number 4 seed Minnesota Vikings taking on the number 5 seed Washington football team. I think Minnesota wins this one, but it's going to be a low-scoring affair. But now you go to the divisional round. You got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Panthers for the third time this season. And I think this time around, Tampa Bay wins and goes to the NFC Championship game. But who will they play? Got the Dallas Cowboys and the Minnesota Vikings. When you talk about playoffs, you got the Dallas Cowboys. They choke. And I think they would choke here. And the Minnesota Vikings will upset them and go to the NFC Championship game. But Minnesota riding high on momentum, beating the Cowboys. That will all come to an end because Tampa Bay will humble them and beat them and advance to the Super Bowl for the second year in a row. The Super Bowl for the 2021-2022 NFL season will be the Buffalo Bills representing the AFC and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers representing the NFC. But my winner for this game will be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for the second year in a row, winning 34-31. But Josh Allen will win MVP, and the Buccaneers will make it back-to-back champs. So there you go. Everybody, though, remember to please like, subscribe, and comment down below if you agree with any of my predictions. I'm curious to know. Peace.